Welcome to Venus Flytrap world. In today's video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to divide a Venus flytrap so you can obtain multiple plants from just a single one. When conditions are appropriate, Venus flytraps tend to propagate through asexual propagation called rhizome divisions. In this type of propagation, the mother plant will produce clones of itself that grow very close together but develop independent rhizomes, independent root systems. How do you know if your plant has actually divided? Well, there's a couple of tricks. First of all, most Venus flytraps grow 5 or up to 10 traps. If your Venus flytrap obviously has more than 10 traps, then there's a very high chance that it has divided multiple times. Also, sometimes it's possible to observe multiple growth points in the plant. In this case, my plant is bare root and I'm able to observe at least 3 growth points just in this side of the plant. Another trick is if your plant usually grows a certain size of traps and it suddenly started growing maybe some tiny trap on the side like a baby Venus flytrap, then that is also a sign that it has divided. Now, I'll teach you exactly how to do it. The first step to divide your plant is to first remove it from its pot and get rid of as much of the media as you can. Right now, I am at that stage. And I like to use a mister with distilled water to help me get rid of the remaining soil. Make sure that the water you use is distilled or RO water or rainwater, but nothing else. Because even a little bit of water that it's incorrect can end up damaging the plant. Once I start removing all of that media, I kind of start spotting the growth points that I'm going to divide. In this case, it seems like most of the media is kind of compacted in between the roots, so I might not be able to take a lot more, but it is pretty clean right now. And as I divide it, it will just fall aside. When I divide these plants, I'm actually very careful in not just ripping them off. I try to be as patient and as careful as I can, but of course, sometimes you can end up damaging a few traps or closing a few traps. That is okay. So as you can see, here is a growth point. So I'm kind of pulling it apart carefully and removing media as I do so. All of these roots are kind of clumped together, so sometimes it can be a little bit challenging, but not too much. If it causes me a lot of trouble, I can continue to the next, and it's kind of a bit of a puzzle. You start dividing them and it gets easier and easier as you go. So I know here is 2 of them, so I can try to divide those 2 and separate them as much as I can. Get rid of that media. There you go, it's coming together. Also, it doesn't help that I have a lot of just dead foliage that is kind of tangling around. But this plant hasn't been trimmed, it's a rescue, so it hasn't really been touched for a while. All right, this one is almost all out as you can see, but we still have, I think we'll end up with 4 plants here. There you go, it's coming. Coming apart. Yeah, I think that dead foliage was really the biggest problem. The roots, let's see. We have one right here. Let's continue. Another one here. Ooh, this one's ended up with a lot of black leaves. But it's okay. They also have a lot of traps. There you go. The best time to divide your Venus flytraps, it's actually at the end of winter, when the plant is finishing dormancy, or in the beginning of the spring. At that same time is when I recommend repotting your Venus flytrap for their yearly repotting. So if you're interested in this type of propagation, I would say just get 2 birds with 1 stone by actually repotting your plant, putting it in fresh media, but also going ahead and going through the divisions. If this information has been useful so far, I really appreciate it if you can like this video and help me spread this information to more and more people. Also, another tip for divisions is to make sure that you have all the appropriate components to repot your new plants when you have created those divisions. And for that, I have the perfect resource for you, a guide on how to rescue and repot Venus flytraps. Make sure to check that out. And thank you for watching.